What's going on, guys? It is Insanity here, and welcome to today's video. Sorry about no uploads the past few days. I've been dealing with a ear infection and pretty bad sunburn, so I really just didn't feel like making a video, nor did I have the energy to, but we're back. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about how you could do the Guardian takedown solo within Borderlands 3. Now, just before this video starts, if you guys do find it informative or helpful, please leave a like, as it also does help this channel grow, and also subscribe if you are new. I do Borderlands content like this almost every single day, so please consider subscribing. Now, moving on to some guns that I would highly recommend using for this takedown. So, I would highly recommend using something like a Monarch. A Monarch is very useful for taking out mobs of enemies. A Sandhawk is also really good for damage on the bosses and also big enemies, and OPQ systems for the shock damage. Elements that you want on the Monarch and Sandhawk are honestly shock and corrosive. That's really the only two that you really need. You don't really need one on a Monarch, but the Sandhawk, I would highly recommend getting a shock and corrosive Sandhawk. Now, in order to start the takedown at the Guardian Breach, you must update your game, obviously. And once your game is updated, travel to Sanctuary, and Tannis will tell you to meet her in her lab. And then once you go to her lab, there is this crystal in the back of it, and all you got to do is walk up to it and accept the side mission from it. It is pretty simple, and then just travel to Minos Prime, and then use the drop pod, and then get ready for the takedown. So moving on to the takedown itself, it is actually a little bit harder, if not really a lot harder, than the Malawan takedown, and it introduces a new high risk factor like parkour and platforming. And you also do have to pay attention to the area you are at, because you can fall off of the edges, and it is pretty easy to fall off of the edges, and you will die instantly if you do. So anyways, moving on to the first half of the takedown, once you start this takedown, you will enter a big area, and all you got to do in this area is just kill all the enemies until Tannis talks to you, and once she talks to you, she will tell you to hit a button on a ledge. Once you hit this button on the ledge, it will activate 2 crystals in front of the door, and then all you got to do is just stand around them and charge them up. There's like this little area that it tells you got to stand in to charge them up, and you will know once they're charged once you hear a sound cue, and the area will light up blue. Once you charged both crystals, the door will open. Now, if you've already done this takedown before, you don't have to charge these crystals. The door will actually open if you kill all the enemies in the area. Now, moving on to the next room. The next room is, you're going to have to do a little bit of parkour here. And just follow the map to the right and just simply run to the platform. You do not have to kill any of the enemies. You can if you want, but you just run to this little platform I have on screen. Just jump to it. And then just take this boost pad, let it take you over to this next platform, and just make a few more simple jumps to the next boost pad to the main area. Now, once you are in this main area, you have to kill all the guardians in the area, and once you do that, Tannis will tell you to hit another button, and this button will activate 3 crystals. Now, just simply do the same exact thing you did in the first room. Just stand in the area, but this time, guardians will be trying to attack you, and just kill all the guardians and defend the area from the guardians, and yeah, you should be fine. Now, please do note that these crystals are on a time limit, and if that time limit is reached, these crystals will explode, and you will die and have to restart the takedown, so you will pretty much need to be really efficient for this. Once all the crystals are charged, you can move on to the next area, where you again have to kill all the guardians in the area. Once all the guardians are killed in the area, another door will open, and in this big room that you will enter, you just have to kill the guardians until these platforms appear. These platforms will appear, and they will go invisible from time to time, and it is your job to remember where they are. They will flash purple, and they're pretty easy to see, honestly, when they're going invisible and, to visible. Yeah, just simply make 3 jumps to these, and if you do fall, you're fine. Just kill all the guardians until you activate the boost pads to get your way back up to the top layer of the room. And just, again, simply make 3 jumps onto these platforms and then into the hole in the middle of the room, and you are ready for the boss fight. First boss fight, that is. There are 2 boss fights in this. Now, once you slide down, make sure you make it up on this ledge to refill on ammo and everything, and then just head right down, and yeah. The name of the boss is Athema the Relentless. I think that's how you pronounce it, and there are a few phases to this fight. Once you first drop, you will have to complete the armor until it goes invincible. Once the boss is invincible, you have to jump to another platform, because it will explode the entire platform that you just, depleted its health on, you hurt it on. If you do get hit by this explosion, you will instantly enter fight for your life, and it's pretty hard to get out of it. Now just keep doing the same thing, moving from platform to platform as you keep hurting it and everything until the first bar of health is gone. During the next phase, it will be the same exact thing as the first phase, but instead of exploding one platform, the boss will explode 2 or 3 platforms. And again, it's your job just to go to another platform, but this time, to know what platform you have to go to, there will be red beams coming off of the platforms that you do not want to go to. So if like a platform's going to explode, there will be a red beam coming off of it. So just go to the ones that don't have a beam on it and just keep doing this until the second bar of health is completely gone. Moving on to the last phase of this fight, honestly, it's the same exact thing as the other ones, but instead of exploding 2 to 3 platforms, it explodes every platform but one. And again, it is your job to make sure you look fast at these red beams, and if there is a red beam coming off of a platform, just don't go to that platform, and then just go to the one that doesn't have a beam coming off of it, and you just keep doing this until the boss is finally dead. Moving on to the second half of this raid, once you kill the boss, you will have to enter a portal that spawns on the arena to bring you to the next area. Now, this is a checkpoint of the takedown, so in case you die at any point during the next half of this takedown, you don't have to restart the entire thing, you just spawn here. Just hit the button when you're ready to go to the next part of the takedown, and you will yet again have to kill all the enemies in the area. Once you do, the screen will shake and will activate invisible platforms again, and just simply make the jumps onto these platforms until you get to the boost pad that will bring you to the next area. Once you are in this next area, you will again have to charge more crystals to get a door to open. Just press the button and start charging the crystals, and again, this is also on a time limit, so you want to do this effectively and efficiently. Once you charge all the crystals, just open it. It will open up the door to the next room and just head on in. In this next room, you will again have to kill all the guardians until the screen shakes again, and invisible platforms will appear again, and just jump on these platforms to the next area. And in this next area, you will have to be extra careful because it is very, very, very easy to fall off the edge here, and just kill all the enemies again, and then more platforms will appear. Just make some simple jumps until you make it to the final boss. Refill on ammo and enter the raid boss fight. This is going to be the final boss fight of the raid. You have made it. Congratulations. So moving on to the final boss fight. This boss's name is Scourge, the Invincible Martyr, and he is honestly a really, really cool boss fight. I really do enjoy this one. So to start off this boss fight, you will first have to deal damage to him until he enters a state of invincibility. During this, he will be charging up this orb that will eventually explode, and you have 2 options here. You can either hide behind a pillar and wait until he explodes, or, this is what I literally just found this out by doing this recording, by the way. You got these guardians with really, really big heads and really big critical hit spots, and they explode. If you lure them close enough to Scourge and blow him up next to Scourge, it knocks him out of his invincibility state, and then you could keep doing more damage that way. Again, I just found this out literally just now. So yeah, keep doing that until his first bar of health is completely gone. Moving on to the second phase, Scourge will begin this next phase by teleporting you into an open area where you have to kill all the enemies in this area until a portal appears, allowing you to go back to the arena. During this whole time while you're killing these enemies, Scourge will be healing, so just make sure you just do this as fast as you possibly can. And once you enter back into the arena, you will see Scourge healing on like this ledge right over there, and then you use a boost pad to jump up to his ledge and then melee the crystal that he's being charged from. Now it's just like the first phase where you deal damage to him until he enters a state of invincibility. Lure one of those guardians over to Scourge, blow them up, knocking him out of invincibility, and just keep dealing damage until he is fully dead. His next bar of health is gone. And then moving on to the third phase, it is literally the same exact thing as the second phase, just with a shield bar of health instead of armor. It literally starts the phase by teleporting you to a harder area where you got to kill all the enemies, wait until a portal appears, enter this portal, go back into the arena, hit the crystal, then keep dealing damage to him until he's finally dead. It's literally the second phase over again. So yeah. So once he is finally dead, you have completed this takedown. We have went over how to do it solo. So yeah. that's pretty much it. Hopefully you guys were able to do this, maybe on a Mayhem, maybe not, but I know I cannot do it on a Mayhem because I am a bot. So yeah, if you guys did enjoy this video, please leave a like, as it also does help this channel grow if you found it informative, and subscribe if you are new. I do Borderlands content like this almost every single day, so yeah, please consider subscribing. Otherwise, that's pretty much it. It's been Insanity, and I'll see you all later.